Hey Mark, Jessica from Peterson SEO. Thank you for reaching out on our website and requesting more information on our Google advertising and requesting your SEO audit. So we will try to quickly go over both the SEO and the ads in this video real quick, and then we'll be reaching out to you tomorrow. All right, so let's get started here. When somebody does a search in Google, generally the first things you're going to see are going to be Google cost per click ads and Google sponsored, Google guaranteed local area service ads. About 10% of people actually click through on these ads. You can capitalize both of those positions. Cost per click, you are charged every time somebody clicks, and you have to ensure that you have a really good landing page that relates to your ad. And then you have to dial in your keyword strategy, etc., so that you can be shown for ads for those services. And then the Google guaranteed, these tend to be a little bit more, but Google is guaranteeing your service. And you only actually pay for true leads. So that's the little bit of a difference there. Now, when I was mentioning cost per click, let's look over here at this ad here. So this is a sponsored ad, different service, different area, sponsored ad. You want to make sure that your ads speak to what you're advertising about and that you fill it out as complete as possible, kind of like they have done here. So you're giving them a good information. But where most people get it wrong is they send people just to their website. What you need is a landing page, and that landing page should not allow people to go anywhere else. And here you can see they're on their website, and they can click off in a bunch of different places, which means that majority of their potential leads, they are not converting because they're giving them too many ways out. So if you do decide to do Google Ads, you will need to make sure that you have a one-page landing page specifically designed for your ads. All right, moving on. So ads, that's the first spot. Like I said, about 10% of people click through ads. The second important part is this Google Business Profile section. Now, your goal should be to be in the top 3 for all of your relevant local keywords for each of the service areas you service. Now, for this search term, I am seeing you here in the top 3, which is awesome. But if for whatever reason you're not, then you will need to further optimize this. You're going to need more citations, which is the name of the business, the address, phone number, and website, and listing those on a bunch of directories. Taking a quick look at yours, you do have 29 reviews, so that's a good start. You are actually using Q&As, so that's good. I always recommend at least 20. You want to make sure this section is fully optimized, all 750 characters, and that you're focused on the local keyword strategy. You also want to make sure that you are doing these Google updates. I do see some from 2023. You really want to have these at least weekly, at least once per week. So those are a couple other areas that you can optimize so that you can keep yourself in that top 3. And then the third section to Google is after the maps, and this is your organic section. Nearly 70% of people skip ads and maps and go straight to the organic. So this is the most critical spot to be in. So you really have to make sure that your website's properly optimized and dialed in. You want your SERPs. This is a SERPs right here, search engine report page. So this needs to be optimized on every single page of your website, and it should speak to the keywords relevant to the service in the service area that you are targeting on that page. So it's really, really important. So let's hop on back to your website real quick. You've got a good looking website. I like that you have service areas page. Now you want to make sure that every service area you service that has search volume has their own page so you can be found for your services in those areas. I always want to make sure everybody has a separate page for each of your major services. I see that you've got a ton of pages. For the most part, most of this stuff could actually be wrapped in to a single water damage page and a single flood page. Commercial restoration is great. Same with mold and fire. You could really wrap all those up into single pages. Otherwise, what you have to do is you have to optimize every single one of these pages. You need to make sure that you're going after local keywords for each of these pages, and you're going to have to apply SEO to every single one of these pages. So there is a better way to optimize that. But it is great that you have those pages. I like that you have the click to call up here. That's awesome. So now when it comes to ranking on Google, unfortunately, it has nothing to do with appearance. Content is key, and you need a ton of content. And throughout your website, you really have done a great job with your content, but it's not really focused on any keywords. There's really no keyword strategy going on here. So you're a local company, you need to be focused on local keywords. So that's the name of your town or the state of Missouri with your keywords. It's the keywords people are actively searching on Google for your services. Most people aren't going to know the name of your business. They're going to be searching the terms for the services that they need. And so you really need to focus on that. It also looks like there's a little error here on this page. It says show up row emergencies. So just a little tidbit there. So your home page is one of the most important pages. It really should have about at least 1,000, if not 1,500 words or more. And it needs to be written around your services and those local keywords. And it has to have the proper amount of repetition to really get picked up by Google and be indexed. So without that, your SEO really doesn't have a whole lot to stick to really start ranking for those local keywords. So you do have a little bit about some of your services, but I would have a separate area for each of the major services. Make sure you have the 3 to 5 repetitions of the keywords, local keywords there, so they can get indexed. You want to make sure all pages have original content and that you're going after different keywords on different pages. So all of those are going to be really important, as well as a lot of interlinking pages. So you guys have done a pretty good job here. You got a ton of content. You need more content on the home page, but you're missing the other part to the on-page SEO. Your images, as you can see here, untitled. Your images are not optimized. Your SERPs, your alt and metadata are not optimized. So you really need to optimize every single one of these pages, every image, and make sure all of your content is rewritten around those local keywords so you can get indexed and be ranking for them. So those are the main pieces that you're missing with the on-page SEO. Now, if we look at your competitor, you actually have a much better website than they have. They have the separate pages for their services. They also have a location page, but no actual pages for the locations. They have less content than you guys do, but they have a ton of repetition of keywords and locations. They also have the form at the top of the page, which I always recommend, making it super easy for your customers as soon as they land on a page. You should have a form and a click to call as soon as they land. But other than that, you appear to have more content than they do. And so these guys, I would think, should be fairly easy to beat if you work on the strategies that we just talked about. Now, this is a program called Ahrefs that tells us how your website is performing. And as you can see, your domain, that's your website as a whole, has a rating out of 8 out of 100 in Google's Trust Flow, which means Google doesn't really trust your website. That's 100% based on your backlinks and referring domains. Now, a backlink is any website that provides your website with a link from their site to your site, whereas the referring domain is that physical website providing you the links. But Google's only going to get you credit for 1 link per referring domain, and not all links are good links. Not all are created equal. And I've noticed that with your backlinks, while you do have some good ones, you have a lot of spammy ones that are completely irrelevant. So your backlinks need to be associated with the type of services you offer. Otherwise, they're looked at as spam. So you got a lot of spammy links that's diluting your score. And because your website doesn't really have any keyword strategy, you've only been indexed for 15 keywords, and you're only getting on average about 19 people to your site. And taking a look here, it looks like you just recently restarted your SEO again. So awesome. I'm glad you're doing the SEO, but it just needs to be done correctly. If we look at the anchors, most of the links that you are getting is branded, generic, but none of these, there's only 2 or 3 that are actually related to the keywords you want to be indexed and ranked for your services. So a lot of those linking needs to be refocused on your keyword strategy. Looking at your keywords, you do have a couple local keywords, and you are on the first page for some of those keywords. But keywords often have multiple variations. You might see the city in the front or the back. The terms might change a little bit. So you want to capitalize on as many as possible so you can be found as easily as possible by your customers. If we look at your competitor, they have a higher domain score with less backlinks. So that just goes to show you that not all backlinks are created equal, and you really need to go after the highly authoritative related links. It is a popularity contest. And they are getting more traffic because they've been indexed for more keywords. They have more of the keywords, more of the repetition. And even though you have some of the same keywords, they're just ranked higher. And that's because of the better quality linking that they have going on. So Google is going to show them more often. I hope you found this information to be helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you again for requesting this audit and Google information. And I look forward to talking to you soon.